Welcome to season 2 of Watch the Tech. I'm your host, Seth Klebe. So, I actually just interviewed my guest, and let me just say that the conversation was electric. But before you see that, let me show you the insane watch that I wore during this episode. So, what I'm holding is a Royal Oak RD3. There's only so many of these watches in the world. This is a time only watch with a flying tourbillon. But what's so cool about this is this movement inside of this watch was purpose built to fit inside this particular case shape. And this is the original case shape of the Royal Oak Jumbo. So it's 39 by 8.1. It wears incredibly well and flat on the wrist, and it's an incredibly thin watch, but it houses this flying tourbillon. So it's just absolutely insane. And the detailing of the links, the hour markers and hands, and certainly the movement inside that you can see is finished to all of the standards that you would come to love and expect from AP. For me, my two favorite things about this watch are these links in steel. I mean, it just look at that. But then the other special thing about this watch, which I wasn't expecting until I tried it on and started wearing it, is just how loud the ticking is. I personally love that. So maybe it's the tourbillon, maybe it's not. I'm not really sure. Anyways, I should clarify, this is not my watch. I am borrowing this from my friend Josh. So Josh, thank you. You are the man. Might not give this back to you. We will just have to find out and see. And lastly, my sponsor for this episode is Rocky Mountain Watches. They believe that watches are an investment for multiple lifetimes, no matter the price point, and that buying your next beautiful, useful timepiece doesn't have to be a headache. Each timepiece they sell has a story, just like you. Their collection is handpicked for versatility, durability, timelessness, and useful feature sets. Your next watch is ready for the mountains and valley ahead. You should definitely reach out to them. And with that, let's get into the episode. All right, Patrick, welcome to Watch the Tech. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm good. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too. This is awesome because it's the start of my season 2 of the podcast. So it's great to have you here.
Thank you to have me too.
Awesome. Are you in Le Brassus today?
No, I'm near the Lake Geneva. If you know a bit of Swiss geography,
Okay.
I'm down the mountains, and Le Brassus, it's 1,000 meters level in the mountains, so it's much higher than here.
Got it. I have been to Zurich, Grindelwald, Luzerne, and Appenzell.
Wow, beautiful cities also. I especially love Lucerne.
Oh, yes. It was gorgeous.
You can see there also a lot of watches and brands, and yeah, you can feel really the Swiss spirit.
I think I went into no less than 39 different boutiques when I was there.
Wow, amazing.
It was like hiking, boutiques, stop for a coffee or food, back to some more boutiques. That pretty much summarizes that vacation. So this is a very special episode today because you are my first guest who actually works at a watch brand, and it's not just any brand. It's just blowing my mind still that we're even here together. You've been at for approaching 8 years now in a variety of different engineering roles. And most recently, you're a manager for what you call Digital Factory. And I think a lot of people would be interested to know a little bit about exactly what your role is at and what you do. Would you mind sharing that to kick things off?
Yes, of course, I can share. So I ended up totally by accident. Even if I was born in Switzerland, I didn't know. My parents are Portuguese. I did my studies in Portugal, and in 2013 I came back to Switzerland. I ended up and when I told my friends here and my family that lives here, I'm going to work for a watchmaker. They told me, oh, amazing! You know, it's the best watchmaker. And I was like, seriously? Are you sure? And for me, the best brand that I knew was like Rolex. You know, for me it was a totally hidden world. I didn't know Patek Philippe or Vacheron or any very high-end watches. I was not at all into watches. I'm a geek. I'm a technology guy. I didn't know nothing about watches, but the watch I usually used when I was young was Swatch ones, still Swiss watches, but yeah, much more modest stuff. So I ended up at my passion, because my passion, it's mobile development, technology, new technology innovation. So I accepted this role for the job, because there was a lot to be done, and no, the job was not to make a connected watch or something like that, because I went to also to mobile conference, and some peers asked me, "Oh, but what are you doing as a mobile developer in a watchmaker?" And I said, "No, there's a lot to do, because they build watch since 150 years. So this year we will celebrate the 150 years anniversary. But when I joined last 10 years, they switched to a model when they also do retail, and they have their own distribution network with boutiques and houses around the world. Currently, my role at the Digital Factory is to make tools, to build great tools for our employees, but not only for retail, also for finance, HR, supply chain, can be also the manufacturing plant. So there's a lot of areas where the Digital Factory is needed, and we can improve our employees and empower them with new tools. Today, a lot of people say to me, we have been selling watches since 150 years. We don't need technology, or we don't need apps or iOS. But the people that are buying those watches now live in current world. So they are not the same clients that lived 100 years ago. So to speak to them or to reach them, you need this kind of solutions, digital solutions, to be able to stay connected with our clients and prospects. And I also told in a conference last year that the employee experience directly reflects on the client experience. It means, to make justice to our product. I see you are wearing such a beautiful piece.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be just like pulling my coffee up all episode just to make sure people know that I'm wearing this watch. It's on loan. It's not actually mine.
So you feel the pressure. We have to build tools that meet the expectations. The expectations with our products are so high that if what we offer digitally is not at the same level, people will be disappointed. So yeah, that's my role at Digital Factory, is to make state-of-the-art digital solutions to make justice to our products.
It's fantastic. And I'm certainly a believer. I mean, I really do believe that a brand's digital presence is a direct reflection of everything else that makes them a brand.
Yeah, it's a key differentiator. I found, now that I know a little bit more about the watch industry, is different because it's traditional, but at the same time forward thinking, and they always trying to seek beyond and to innovate, and it's not at all a static technology that was built 100 years ago.
Right.
But no, we keep innovating. It's really an honor to help this brand with our passion, that is technology.
That's awesome. So, from a collecting perspective, where did your interest in watches overall begin? Or was there someone who influenced you?
When I was young, I received my first watch. I remember with my cousin in a Christmas, and I received a Flick Flack. The Flick Flack watch. I had the red one,
Okay.
and my cousin has the green one, and another one, the blue one. And at the same time, it was 90s. At the TV show, you could see Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles. And with our watches, we were playing outside Ninja Turtles. I was the red one, the other one was the blue one, and we are playing. And our watches were the symbol of who we were. It transformed us in a character. So it was fantastic memories.
That's beautiful. You were the red one was Michelangelo, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, you were Michelangelo. Okay, with the red watch. All right, awesome. Definitely going to add a picture of that flick flack here. I actually have no idea what it is, so I'm very excited to find out what was Patrick's first watch.
Yeah, it's a watch made for kids, so it was very smart, in my opinion, from Swatch, because they start onboarding kids into watch. So it's for me.
Get them hooked early.
Yeah,
get them hooked early.
And so every time now I see a flick flack, I have those memories popping up. The other one I will show here on the screen is this one. It's a Swatch Irony.
Oh, okay.
So you see it's broken here.
Oh, yeah, I do now.
But it's the charm of this watch, because Uh, I bought it when I was working on my garden, and I went to a Swatch boutique, and they cannot replace it. It's not repairable. So it's a key difference. Also, they say, okay, this watch you can easily buy another one. They have tons of irony in the boutique, but this watch for me it's so special because it's the first watch I bought with my own money. I keep this watch for me as my first gift for myself. So that's why I will never throw away this watch because it's the first watch I bought with my money. So like once again, it's special. So even if it's broken, it's my story. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's the memory of that. I can tell it's like making you smile, it's bringing you joy, and I think
Mm.
that's really what watches are all about. It's the memories that connect to them, and it's the stories and the people behind them. I saw on your wrist you're wearing a MoonSwatch.
Good
Yes?
catch. Yeah, exactly. So I someone
Okay.
in my family offered to me this Christmas. So it has 1 week
Oh,
in my wrist.
okay. So it's really new to the collection.
Yeah, but this one it's the mission to hurt. So it's the first watch in the world to have this complication. So it shows you the hurt phases.
That's
Uh,
amazing.
so for me, once again, I'm very happy they offer me this watch because it's the history, the Speedmaster, the moon.
That's awesome. So, do you have a daily wear watch? You know, when you're working at it,
Oh, I hope
out and
my
about.
answer don't kill me, but I'm a tech guy, so this watch, it's a Weddings. So if you look it at first,
Okay.
it looks like a regular watch. A lot of
Yeah.
people ask me at work, what is this watch and what it does and so on. But when you look closer, then there's a small screen. It has your steps and your stuff and the heartbeat, and then so this watch is connected. So it's my daily watch because I do a lot of sports. I'm an handball player and I do a lot of
Okay.
running. So for me as a daily, I also swim with it. So yeah, it's my daily.
I did not see that coming. I really didn't. It makes total sense, but I am surprised. I am
I
surprised.
understand. It's also maybe my Swiss. So it's an hybrid watch. And in technology, when I develop solutions, also with my team, a lot of times we use hybrid technology because hybrid is the best compromise between, the best breed and something unique. So you have to make compromise in life at some point. And for watches and for technology, it's the same. So for me, this watch is a good compromise because I hate those connected watch when you see a black screen, and at the same time it provides me data.
Okay. Yeah. I always imagine something that I would love. It doesn't exist yet. I would like it to. So, if it wants to steal this idea, please feel free. Just like cut me in for a little bit. But I I really do love mechanical watches because it is my separation from the digital world because I'm looking at my phone, I'm looking at email, I'm looking at Slack, I'm getting phone calls. And so when I look at my watch, I'm just looking at a perfect example of technology that just doesn't give me notifications. But like you, I still want to know what my heart rate is. I do still want to know what my steps are. Sometimes I sleep with a watch and I would like to know what my resting heart rate was. So I imagine underneath somewhere on the case back, you put a passive, chip of some kind that still has the sensor. So you can still see the watch, especially if it has an exhibition case back. But then it's still the same watch. And then if you want to see the information, you have to connect to your phone. That's what I would like in the future. It's a
Yeah,
tall order.
it's a nice dream. But yeah, I learned that also because when I joined, as I said, I was an handball player, and I went to the mountains twice a year, and there was always, the Royal Oak in a whole Royal Oak. Maybe they were sponsoring the local teams or something, but I always looked at that and I didn't understand. I looked at that watch, I said, "Oh, this looked so. Why I need a watch? If I need to see the time, I just look at my phone." But there's an onboarding when you join, where you assemble your own movement.
Oh, really?
That
Even
day,
even if you're not at all
yeah,
in watchmaking.
exactly. So I did my own movement. Of course, it's simplified. When you put the last piece and the watch starts to do the tick tack, tick I had goosebumps, and I just want to get up off my chair and go outside and buy a mechanical watch. Believe me, I was
Wow.
not at all a mechanical watch guy, but yeah, now I understand this knowledge, this passion, and all this work, this amazing work that has been done since 150 years now. And also something that I learned, it's a watch valley. There's a lot of snow, and the farmers at the time, it was very very harsh conditions, and they couldn't live from their farm or from the.
Mm-hmm.
In the winter they had time, so in the winter they start to do complicated stuff. Eventually they became specialized only on complicated stuff, and when the snow melt down, they go down to Geneva and sell the movements, like motors in the cars, to other watchmakers
Mm-hmm.
to put inside their watch. So that's why the watchmaking was born here in Switzerland, in the mountains, and not elsewhere, because those harsh conditions created a need for the people to survive, and then they did the unexpected. When you understand how it started and how it evolved, and they keep so much they keep so much detail on it, so much passion. There is no equal, any machine or any technology can equal this.
I'm learning a lot, honestly, and that's a really cool story and something to think about, that the expert level of watchmaking was done in harsh environments where frankly you didn't want to go anywhere and you had time. Let's play a game, Patrick. Here's the game. Let's imagine for a second that money is no object and you can get any that you want. What is the A that you would get?
Wow, it's a difficult question because I like a lot of them. So in a different ways, for some of them I like the design. For another, it's more the engineering achievement and the complications. So very hard choice. But my choice is going to the RD4, to the Caliber 1000. So it's the most complicated wristwatch ever made. They won also so now it's 2 years ago, the Aiguille d'Or in Geneva, and at the same time, my team, we were winning in Zurich the best of Swiss apps. We won 5 medals at the same time. So the watch was winning in Geneva, we were winning in Zurich in the same month, in the same year. So it was what I was saying before. The level of what we make in terms of digital of application have to meet the level of the watch.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the watch because we won at the same time, but for me, this watch is it resumes the 150 years whole history, because it combines together all the knowledge, all the heritage and the savoir-faire and the craftsmanship all in one watch. So, and that's a pretty good achievement.
It's a lot to pack in one watch.
Oh yeah, 23 complications inside and 40 functions. It's unique.
Totally avant-garde.
Yeah, a lot of watchmakers have been doing a watch like this, but they are not wearable, or it was big stuff, or just for exhibitions. It's cool because in this case the technology is hidden. You don't see it. It's not a complication you see, but it's just plug and play. And yeah, for me, it's the best technology. It's the one you don't see. It's hidden.
Not to compare it to software, but I think some of the best software in the world is behind the scenes. It's incredibly complicated what's going on and what's being designed and architected. But from an end user experience, it is incredibly simple, straightforward, easy to use, and it's something that people want and continue to expect.
Yeah, exactly. That's why maybe I stayed, and I like working for this company, because there's a lot in common with micromechanics and watchmaking and the software industry. And yeah, we have different passions, different technical knowledge, but at the end, there's a lot of similarities. It's an engineering process always.
That makes me think of a question. I wasn't actually thinking about this earlier, but are there any parallels between how watchmaking teams organize and work to how you and your engineering teams organize and function? Like, is there any comparison?
Yeah, it's a very interesting question. Pace is totally different. To develop an RD4 or the one you are wearing, the RD3, there is 4-5 years and sometimes 8 years of development. RD means research and development. So it takes several years. In our industry, it's a bit different because it's much more younger industry, so we are less mature. But let's compare maybe with automotive industry. In software engineering, we copied a lot of models from the automotive industry, the lean, the kaizen, for example, or a lot of methodologies. All the quality gates, the quality controls are also used on software. And for watchmaking, it's the same. So if you have a manufacturing with several ateliers, you have a lot of checkpoints or a lot of quality controls. And you can compare a quality control with software quality testing. So yes, there's a
Sure.
lot of parallels for sure.
Okay, got it. Very cool. Well, before we move on, I also have to share the watch that I would get if money were no object, because I feel like I need to put this into the universe and maybe one day it'll happen. It's going to be a tough choice for me, but I think I'm really drawn to the Royal Oak Offshore self-winding. It's the 37 millimeters in it's red gold with the ivory dial, and it has these rubber straps that they have a shine to them. I just think that watch is so cool, and I have nothing even remotely like that in my collection, so I would love to add something like that one day. Now it's out in the universe. Now it might happen.
So good transition for an offshore.
Oh,
Um,
perfect. Yes. I
so
love it.
it's when you're an employee, you have the opportunity to buy a watch, and I waited several years to buy mine, and I chose an offshore. Actually, it's a 42 millimeter, and it's the first watch they made with where you can swap the strap.
Oh,
So
yeah.
this is an in-house
Oh,
developed
so
system.
easy. That was effortless. I've actually never seen that happen.
Yeah,
So that's
and,
really
and
cool.
you can also change the buckle because I have a fun story. So the buckle usually, or in some models, this is in gold. So you don't have two buckles; you just have one. So you just clip this out, and it goes
Wow.
away, and then you can
Wow.
put it in the another strap. I have here another black leather strap,
Okay. Wow.
and put it on this one, and that's it. And you
I've
have a,
never seen that happen, and that's so easy. Could you bring the watch a little bit closer to the screen? I'm dying to take a closer look at this.
we call it baby blue.
It actually matches my podcast logo almost exactly. Wow, that's gorgeous. The rotor, to me, the finishing,
Yeah.
those
I know,
Geneva stripes.
I know you like the back cases, so I will show you the one complication of this watch. So it's a chronograph, and you have a
Mhm,
flyback. So the flyback complication, it allows you without clicking again here and then back
mhm,
and then restarting. With one click, it will restart again. This is
mhm.
very useful for if you can't. So I will show you what happens on the back when I call the flyback.
Okay, yes, please.
Let me focus. Yeah,
There you
here.
go, right there.
Keep an eye on the top. So
Okay.
when I press the flyback, everything is releasing here. You see?
Yep.
And it starts again. So the complicated stuff here is happening. So everything release. So when you see it, believe me, it's amazing. Once again, it's funny because in the watch industry they realized very late value the movement, because at the beginning they were hidden. We didn't show
Right.
them, and at some
Right.
point we realized, oh, people want to know what is inside, and what was even crazier, everything was decorated and with the Côte de Genève, with all the decorations, even if it was hidden. So, for example, in tech industry, cannot you cannot imagine that. There's only one guy, it was Steve Jobs. He wanted everything arranged inside the computers and beautifully, and people say, yeah, but it's inside, even his employees. But he said no, but we have to be perfect, and we have to be proud of what we are
Right.
doing. So it's a lot of inspirations because at the end it makes the difference.
I couldn't agree more. And that's also why Steve Jobs hired and worked with Johnny Ive, one of the best tech designers in the world. And he was a watch guy. And it's also really cool to learn that when you're working there, you do have an opportunity to buy one of their watches. I think that's really special. But I have to know, when someone new in your life finds out that you work at what's the most common question that they will ask you?
Yeah, there's two kind of people when you tell, so you tell them and they don't know the brand. Yeah, I'm traveling a lot, and even in Europe, and they say, oh, I don't know. And there's the other category of people that are a huge fan. They're following the brand. They are very close. They are aware, and you see the stars in their eyes. They just want to talk about watches. Usually,
Yeah.
if I'm wearing my watch, I try to transmit a bit of this passion and what I learn. Yeah, and usually they are they like to listen to those stories. There's a lot of stories
Yeah.
in all those years.
My assumption going into that question was you were going to say, people would ask, can you help me buy a watch, Patrick? Please, can you help me get a watch? But it's good to know that people have restraint.
But usually they know we cannot do anything for them.
Right.
But you are right. I totally missed that. It's exactly that.
Got it. So they warm you up a little bit first, and then they hit you with, all right, can you help me get one of these? Makes sense.
Yeah.
I know we're almost out of time here, but Patrick, it's been so great having you on the show. Truly a pleasure. Your love and passion for watchmaking and technology is infectious. I think I'm going to be smiling the rest of today. So, is there anything else that our viewers should know about, or any other watches that you want to show? Please, love to hear it and see it.
If you like watches and if you want to know more about the history of watchmaking in Switzerland, I can only recommend you to visit it. It's absolutely amazing. The passion you will find there,
Yeah.
and the history. There's so much to learn. Really worth it.
That's a great call out. Well, once again, I've got a lot of people to actually thank that helped make this episode happen. So first and foremost, thank you again, Patrick, for joining. Thank you to my friend Josh for lending me your RD3. Thank you also to Albin, who introduced us. This would not have happened without him. And then last but certainly not least, I'm going to thank our sponsor for this episode, Rocky Mountain Watches. So thanks everyone for listening to the first episode of season 2. And if you liked it, please like and subscribe. And there's going to be a lot more great content like this throughout the year.